Hey everybody, it's Emery again with Ultra Sabers, and I'm here today to show you guys the different AV switch configurations for use with your Emerald driver. Basically, there are three different ways to get this set up. The first way is always on. Basically, we directly connect your AV switch directly to the battery, meaning your AV switch is always on. If the saber is on, the AV switch will stay on. If the saber is off, the AV switch will be off. So basically, as long as there's power being provided, your AV switch will always be on. Thus, the term "always on." The second way is we connect the AV switch in series with a channel going to your blade. So basically, any changes you make to that channel on the blade will not only affect that color on the blade, but the AV switch as well. And the third way is basically we connect the AV switch to its own channel. So we got 4 channels on this LED. 3 of them are going to the blade, and the 4th we connect to the AV switch only. We can go over these 3 configurations really quickly. So for the always on, as you can see, as soon as I put this battery in and introduce power to the saber, the AV switch is always on. So if I cut the saber on, AV switch is on, flash on class, AV switch is always on. Saber off, AV switch stays on. So, in my opinion, the advantages of the AV switch always being on is, of course, simply it's always on. You don't ever have to worry about it. Nothing you do with the different channels will ever affect it. Your AV switch is always going to be on and be at its brightest. And also, in my opinion, if I look over at my saber and I see this AV switch on, I can use that as sort of a reminder that I should probably take my batteries out and put them in the charger, which is typically where they belong. So that's another advantage to me, is if I look over and see my AV switch on, that's a reminder to take my batteries out and put them in the charger. Another advantage is if you have a recharge port, you can go ahead and plug the saber in, and at that point the power provided by the recharge port will be enough to charge the batteries and keep the AV switch illuminated, so you can have this nice accent on at all times instead of having your saber on all the time and the soundboard running and the blade on. You can have this nice accent lighting with your saber plugged in with the recharge port. And of course, the obvious disadvantage is it's going to be constantly draining your batteries if you don't have a recharge port. I'm going to throw some numbers at you guys. Basically, this AV switch requires 20 milliamps, and by comparison, if you guys already own Ultra Sabers with sound, the Obsidian soundboard idle drain is 0.19 milliamps. And the idle drain on the driver is 0.24 milliamps. So again, just for curiosity's sake, you got 0.19 milliamp idle draw on the soundboard, 0.24 milliamp idle drain on the driver, and the AV switch is 20 milliamps. So basically what that means is that the AV switch, if left on, will drain your batteries from fully charged to dead in 2 days. So left to its own devices, just on like this, or not on I should say, but the AV switch on, it will drain your batteries in 2 days. So you have 2 days of it sitting like this without a recharge port. Of course, again, with a recharge port, it can stay on indefinitely, and it will not drain your batteries. So it'll actually be charging your batteries and keeping the AV switch on with a recharge port. So that's the always on. The next one is if you run it in series with one of the channels. Right now I have this in series with channel 2, which is a green. If you turn this on, you can see AV switch is at its brightest when the green is activated. When it starts to pull power from the green and decrease the current to the green, the AV switch actually dims. I have it set up so that it always keeps some current going to the AV switch. So basically, even at the lowest point of the pulse, I have this set to, I believe, 5 out of the 255 on channel 2. So the AV switch never fully goes off. one of the downfalls, or I don't know if you actually, depending on how you configure it, you can make it a perk. If your flash on clash does not have that channel in it, then the AV switch will go off, like so. Flash on clash is activated, AV switch goes off. So yeah, so basically anything you do that affects channel 2 or whatever channel you run it in line with is your choice. In series with whatever you do to that blade color is going to also affect your AV switch. Same thing with the flash on clash. If your flash on clash does not involve that channel, then the AV switch will not be illuminated because that channel will not be getting power during the flash on clash. So basically, if you run this in series with one of the channels, you're going to have to keep in mind what channel you have it run with and how you want your AV switch to be displayed during your idle pulse or during your flash on clash or things of that sort that actually change the current to that channel. So again, you have always on, you have running it in line or in series with one of your blade colors. And the last way is to just give the AV switch its own channel. So we kept this on. We're activating the flash on clash, it's doing its idle pulse, and the AV switch stays constant. So we kept the saber off, the AV switch also goes off because it's being run to that channel when that channel is getting no power when the saber is off. So basically, yeah, and also with this is set up to the 4th channel on the driver, which is typically connected to white. So one concern may be that you won't be able to get your white flash on clash, but you can. Basically, you would just combine red, green, and blue and tweak those until you got the hue of white that you were looking for. So you can still have your saber flash white or silver by combining red, green, and blue. And you can still have your AV switch operate as normal by connecting it to its own channel. In addition, if you want to tweak the pulses, you can actually have your AV switch pulse itself without, being coordinated with the blade color because it's on its own channel. So you can actually set this up to have it pulse on and off as a saber idles because it's set up on its own channel. So there's obvious advantages to that. It gives you more room to change the way your AV switch operates because it has its own channel. You don't have to worry about it draining the power when the saber is off, because when the saber goes off, the AV switch will go off as well. So again, that's your third way, is to just give the AV switch its own channel. If you want us to do that, just make the request in the order comments of your order form. So when you submit an order, just let us know that you want the AV switch to have its own channel and specify which channel you want that to be. Typically, red goes on channel 1, green goes on channel 2, blue goes on channel 3, and channel 4 is designated for either the AV switch or white or orange or whatever you have, whatever type of LED you pick. So there you guys go. Those are the 3 different ways to set up your AV switch. Always on, in series with the blade color, or give the AV switch its own channel. That's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and give me an email at info@ultrasabers.com. Hope this video was informative, and I hope that you enjoyed watching. And thanks for watching.